What if I told you there's an invisible poison lurking in your pantry right now? And no, it's not some strange chemical with a name you can't pronounce. It's an ingredient so common, it's found in over 70% of the packaged foods you probably buy every single week. You think you're eating healthy, but this one thing is quietly driving up your blood pressure, putting you on the fast track to heart disease and stroke. It's in your bread, your cheese, that healthy canned soup you love, and even your breakfast cereal. The food industry has become masterful at hiding it, and today, we're pulling back the curtain. I'm going to expose what this silent killer is, show you the sneaky ways it's disguised on food labels, and give you the simple, powerful tools you need to cut it out of your life starting today. The culprit I'm talking about is sodium. Most of us just think of it as the salt we sprinkle on our food. But that's a dangerous mistake. The salt you add yourself, that's only about 11% of the sodium you're actually consuming. The real danger, the true source of this poison, is the massive hidden amount of sodium that food manufacturers pump into nearly everything they make. And the numbers are just staggering. The American Heart Association recommends most adults get no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium a day, with an ideal limit of just 1,500 milligrams for heart health. So what's the reality? The average American consumes over 3,400 milligrams every single day. That's more than double the ideal amount. Just let that sink in. For years, maybe even decades, you've likely been consuming double the recommended dose of something directly linked to cardiovascular disease. Now, to be clear, your body does need a tiny bit of sodium to function. But the massive overdose we're all getting, that's the poison. This isn't some minor health fad. It's a public health crisis hiding in plain sight. The link between high sodium and high blood pressure or hypertension isn't debated. It's a rock-solid scientific fact. When you eat too much sodium, your body holds on to extra water to try and dilute it. This literally increases the amount of blood flowing through your blood vessels. Imagine turning a garden hose on full blast and pinching the end. That constant, relentless pressure damages your arteries, making them stiff and narrow. Your heart is forced to work harder and harder, day in and day out, until it eventually starts to fail. That's hypertension, the silent killer, and it's a primary cause of the #1 killer worldwide, heart attacks and strokes. So you have to ask yourself, if this stuff is so bad for us, why is it in everything? And how come we don't always taste it? This is where the story gets infuriating. This is the calculated deception the food industry relies on to keep you buying their products. First, you have to understand that sodium is a food manufacturer's best friend. It's incredibly cheap, and it does so many things. It's a preservative extending shelf life from months to years. It's a stabilizer, giving processed foods a better texture and mouthfeel. But its most important job? It's a powerful flavor enhancer. It makes cheap, bland, processed ingredients taste amazing. In fact, it's so good at this job that it can actually mask the nasty chemical taste of other preservatives. But here's the sneakiest part. Companies have become experts at hiding the salty taste itself. They do this by balancing it with incredible amounts of sugar, unhealthy fats, and other additives. This chemical balancing act creates a hyper-palatable food that doesn't necessarily taste salty, but lights up the reward centers in your brain, making you crave more. That sweet breakfast cereal, it can have nearly 300 milligrams of sodium. Those cookies you snack on, loaded with sodium. You're being hit with sodium in foods that you don't even think of as salty. Let's name and shame some of the worst offenders. Foods with truly shocking amounts of hidden salt. 1. Breads and rolls. You don't taste it, but bread is one of the top sources of sodium in our diet. A single slice can have up to 230 milligrams. 2. Deli and cured meats. Think that turkey sandwich is a healthy lunch? A few ounces of deli meat can pack over 500 milligrams of sodium. 3. Canned soups. That comforting can of chicken noodle soup can have over 900 milligrams of sodium, more than half your ideal daily limit in one bowl. 4. Frozen dinners and pizza. These are notorious salt bombs, often containing thousands of milligrams to keep them preserved and make them taste fresh. 5. Cheese. Salt is essential for making cheese, but processed cheese slices can have over 400 milligrams each. Even cottage cheese, a supposed health food, can hide 400 milligrams in a small half-cup serving. 6. Sauces and condiments. This is a big one. A single tablespoon of soy sauce can have 1,000 milligrams of sodium. Ketchup, BBQ sauce, and salad dressings are all loaded with it. 7. Breakfast cereals. Like I said, these sweet starts to the day are often packed with sodium to enhance their flavor. 8. Canned vegetables. To keep them preserved, veggies are often packed in salt water. You have to rinse them. 9. Veggie burgers and meat alternatives. In the quest to mimic the taste of meat, many of these products are overloaded with salt, sometimes containing more than the real thing. 10. Sports drinks. They're sold as healthy and hydrating, but many are just sodium and sugar. Completely unnecessary unless you're a professional athlete. And if you go looking for it on the label, they don't make it easy. You won't just see the word salt. You have to be a detective and look for its other names. Monosodium glutamate, MSG, sodium bicarbonate, sodium nitrate, sodium citrate. The list goes on. This makes it incredibly difficult for you to track just how much you're really eating. Want to take control of your health starting today? I've created a free natural life starter kit packed with food safety checklists, detox tips, and simple ways to avoid hidden ingredients and harmful cooking methods. It's your personal guide to making smarter, safer choices without the overwhelm. Just click the link in the description to grab it now and start your natural healing journey. All right, that was the bad news, and it's enough to make anyone angry. But here's the good news. You hold all the power here. Knowledge is your weapon, and your kitchen is your best defense. Here is your 4-step game plan for taking control back from the food industry. Step 1. Become a label detective. This is your #1 skill. From now on, nothing in a box, bag, or can goes into your cart until you've turned it over and read the nutrition facts. Ignore the flashy promises on the front. The truth is always on the back. Find the sodium line and look at 2 things: the milligrams per serving and the serving size. Companies love to use ridiculously small serving sizes. A bag of chips might say 150 milligrams, but if the serving is only 10 chips and you eat half the bag, you've just had a massive dose of sodium. As a rule of thumb, 5% of your daily value, DV, is low, but 20% or more is high. And don't fall for misleading terms. Reduced sodium just means it's 25% less than the original, which can still be sky high. You want to look for labels that say low sodium or, even better, no salt added. Step 2. Reclaim your kitchen. The single most powerful way to slash your sodium intake is to cook your own food. It's that simple. Over 70% of the sodium we eat comes from processed, packaged, and restaurant foods. When you cook, you control what goes in your body. It doesn't have to be fancy. Simple meals made from fresh ingredients will always be better for you than something designed to sit on a shelf for a year. Just start with 1 or 2 more home-cooked meals a week. Step 3. Flavor without the salt. But what about the taste? I promise, your food can be unbelievably delicious without being loaded with salt. This is your chance to get creative. Your spice rack is your new best friend. Here are some incredible, healthy alternatives to salt. Herbs and spices. Garlic powder, not garlic salt. Onion powder, smoked paprika, cumin, oregano, and fresh ground pepper are your secret weapons. Acidity. A squeeze of fresh lemon or lime or a splash of vinegar can brighten up any dish and trick your taste buds in the same way salt does. Aromatics. Building your dishes with a base of freshly chopped garlic, onions, ginger, and chilies creates a depth of flavor that salt could never replicate. Just experiment. You'll be shocked at how quickly your palate adapts. After just a few weeks of eating less sodium, you'll start to notice that processed foods taste harsh and unnaturally salty. Step 4. Shop smarter, not harder. The war on sodium is won or lost at the grocery store. Shop the perimeter, stick to the outer edges of the store. That's where the fresh produce, fresh meats, and dairy usually are. The center aisles are where the processed food traps live. Venture in with a plan and get out fast. Fresh is best. Choose fresh or frozen vegetables. If you have to buy canned beans or veggies, get the no salt added version, or at the very least, rinse them thoroughly under water. Compare the brands. If you need to buy something like bread or pasta sauce, take 30 seconds to compare the labels of a few different brands. You will be shocked at how much the sodium content can vary for the exact same product. If this video opened your eyes to what's really hiding in our food, then do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We are dedicated to exposing the truths that the food industry spends billions to hide. And while you're here, check out our other video on the toxic cooking oils you might be using every day. The link is right here. The truth is, many of the dangers we covered today are hidden in plain sight. But once you know what to look for, you're back in control. Don't forget to download your Natural Life Starter Kit. It includes everything you need to begin detoxing your diet, reading labels with confidence, and protecting your family from everyday food risks. It's free, it's practical, and it's waiting for you in the description below. Look, the message today isn't to be afraid of food, it's to understand it. The connection between the insane amount of sodium in processed food and the epidemic of hypertension and heart disease is undeniable. But this is a problem with a clear solution. It starts with you in the grocery store aisle, reading the label. It continues in your kitchen, cooking more at home and flavoring your food in a way that truly nourishes you. You don't have to be a victim of a food system that prioritizes its shelf life over your life. You can take your health back, starting with your very next meal. And if you want to dig even deeper, watch this next. Weight loss blocked by these surprising foods? It's a powerful follow-up that uncovers more everyday foods sabotaging your health, and what to eat instead.